Book summary by Teddy Bear's Storytime. The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, published in 1985, is a seminal work of dystopian fiction that explores themes of totalitarianism, gender oppression, and the loss of personal autonomy. Set in the near future, the novel is narrated by Offred, a woman living in the Republic of Gilead, a theocratic regime that has overthrown the United States government. The book is renowned for its chilling portrayal of a society where women's rights are severely restricted, and it has become a critical commentary on the dynamics of power and control in human societies. Characters: Offred, the protagonist and narrator, a handmaid in Gilead forced to bear children for the ruling class. The commander, Offred's superior and the leader of the household where she serves, who holds significant power in Gilead. Serena Joy, the commander's wife, who is bitter and resentful due to her inability to bear children. Nick, the household chauffeur and a secret ally who becomes romantically involved with Offred. Moira, Offred's friend from before Gilead, who is also a handmaid but resists the regime. Luke, Offred's estranged husband from before Gilead's rise to power. Janine, a fellow handmaid who has a troubled relationship with the regime's expectations. Offred, Offred's partner in the shopping excursions, who shares her status as a handmaid. Rita, the household cook who provides a glimpse into the lives of those outside the handmaid's sphere. Book summary. The novel opens with Offred, the protagonist, reflecting on her current life in the Republic of Gilead. She recounts her experiences in a dilapidated gymnasium where handmaids are indoctrinated into their roles. The reader learns about the totalitarian regime that has taken over, which imposes severe restrictions on women's rights and personal freedoms. Offred's life is characterized by strict rituals and an oppressive atmosphere, underscoring the regime's control over every aspect of life. Offred begins to provide details about her daily routine. She describes the role of the handmaids, women who are forced to become surrogates for the ruling class in Gilead due to widespread infertility. Offred's personal life is under constant surveillance, and she has little freedom or autonomy. The chapter introduces her relationships with other characters, such as Serena Joy and the commander, and hints at the deep sense of loss and fear that pervades her existence. Offred reflects on her past life before Gilead's rise to power. She remembers her husband Luke, their daughter, and their former freedoms. The narrative shifts between her current life in Gilead and her memories of a more egalitarian society. Offred's recollections provide insight into how dramatically society has changed and illustrate the personal impact of the regime's rise. Offred's relationship with the commander becomes more complex. He begins to show interest in her beyond her role as a handmaid. He invites her to secret meetings and engages her in activities that are forbidden, such as playing board games and visiting forbidden places. These interactions create a sense of unease and highlight the power dynamics within the regime. Offred and her fellow handmaids participate in the ceremony, a ritual where they are forced to conceive children for the ruling class. This ritual is both dehumanizing and invasive, underscoring the extent to which Gilead controls women's bodies. Offred's feelings of revulsion and powerlessness are palpable, reflecting the broader themes of oppression and control. Offred's covert relationship with Nick, the household chauffeur, begins to develop. Their secret meetings and growing intimacy provide Offred with a sense of connection and hope amidst the oppressive environment. The relationship represents a form of resistance and personal rebellion against the regime's strictures. The narrative explores Offred's interactions with other characters, such as Moira and Offred. Moira's resistance to Gilead's regime is highlighted, contrasting with Offred's more subdued compliance. Offred's role in the resistance network also becomes evident, revealing the hidden forms of rebellion that exist within the regime. Offred's memories of her life before Gilead are interspersed with her current experiences. She reflects on the changes in her society and the loss of her previous life. The juxtaposition of her past and present underscores the profound impact of Gilead's rise and the personal sacrifices she has made. The commander takes Offred to a forbidden area, revealing the extent of his power and the privileges he can offer her. This excursion deepens Offred's internal conflict, as she grapples with the moral implications of her relationship with the commander and her growing feelings for Nick. Offred's relationship with the commander becomes increasingly complex. She is invited to participate in more secret activities, which reveal the commander's desire for companionship and intellectual connection. These interactions challenge Offred's perceptions of her role and her understanding of the regime's power structures. Offred learns more about the resistance movement within Gilead and becomes more involved. Her interactions with Offred reveal the covert ways in which people resist the regime's control. This chapter highlights the theme of resistance and the various forms it takes in an oppressive society. The novel reaches a climax as Offred's relationship with Nick becomes more serious. Their secret meetings and growing affection provide her with a sense of hope and personal agency. The tension between her feelings for Nick and her fear of Gilead's surveillance adds to the story's dramatic intensity. Offred's involvement in the resistance reaches a turning point. She participates in covert meetings and activities that challenge the regime's control. Her growing sense of rebellion and desire for freedom become more pronounced, reflecting the broader theme of resistance against oppression. The story's tension escalates as Offred faces increased scrutiny and suspicion from the regime. Her relationship with Nick is jeopardized, and she must navigate the dangers of living in a society where personal freedoms are severely restricted. The chapter underscores the constant threat of surveillance and the consequences of defying the regime. Offred's ultimate fate is revealed in a dramatic conclusion. The narrative reaches a climax as she faces the consequences of her actions and the regime's response to her involvement in the resistance. The ending is open to interpretation, leaving readers to grapple with the implications of Offred's choices and the future of Gilead. Themes: Totalitarianism. The novel depicts a dystopian society where totalitarian control pervades every aspect of life. Gilead's regime exercises absolute power over its citizens, using fear, surveillance, and indoctrination to maintain control. The story explores the mechanisms of totalitarianism and its impact on individual freedom and autonomy. Gender oppression. The Handmaid's Tale offers a stark portrayal of gender oppression, focusing on the ways in which women are subjugated and dehumanized in Gilead. The handmaids, including Offred, are reduced to their reproductive functions and stripped of their identities and rights. The novel critiques the systemic nature of gender inequality and the objectification of women. Identity and autonomy. The struggle for personal identity and autonomy is a central theme. Offred's narrative reflects her quest to maintain a sense of self in a society that seeks to erase individual identity. Her internal conflicts and memories of her past life highlight the importance of personal agency and self-worth. Resistance and rebellion. The novel explores various forms of resistance against oppressive regimes. Characters like Moira and Offred's involvement in the resistance network illustrate the different ways individuals and groups resist totalitarian control. The theme of resistance underscores the human desire for freedom and the fight against injustice. Power and control. Power dynamics and control are central to the novel's exploration of Gilead's society. The regime's use of power to control every aspect of life, from reproductive rights to personal relationships, is a key theme. The story examines the effects of power on both the rulers and the ruled. Analysis. Character development. Offred's development as a character is central to the novel. Her journey from a compliant handmaid to a more assertive and rebellious individual reflects the impact of oppressive systems on personal identity and autonomy. The complex portrayals of other characters, such as the commander and Serena Joy, add depth to the narrative's exploration of power and control. Narrative structure. The novel's first-person narrative allows readers to experience Offred's internal struggles and reflections. The shifts between her current life and her memories provide a nuanced understanding of the changes in her society and her personal experiences. Symbolism. The novel uses symbolism to convey its themes. For example, the handmaids' red uniforms symbolize their reduced status and the loss of personal identity. The setting of Gilead itself serves as a symbol of the dangers of religious extremism and authoritarian rule. Emotional impact. The novel's portrayal of oppression and the loss of personal freedoms creates a powerful emotional impact. Readers are compelled to consider the consequences of totalitarianism and gender oppression, making the story both thought-provoking and unsettling. Conclusion. Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale is a compelling and thought-provoking exploration of totalitarianism, gender oppression, and personal autonomy. Through the experiences of Offred and the depiction of the dystopian society of Gilead, the novel offers a profound commentary on the nature of power, control, and resistance. Its enduring relevance and emotional impact make it a crucial work in the genre of dystopian fiction, inviting readers to reflect on the implications of its themes and the importance of defending personal freedoms and human rights. The end. Love the book summary. Subscribe Teddy Bear's Storytime YouTube channel now. Like the video. Turn on the notifications. And leave your comments. See you in next book.